good morning, you beautiful people, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Let me just first off say thank you. All right. I got to say thank you to all of y'all, man. Y'all shared the crap out of that video yesterday, bro, on every platform. Yo, on every platform. And yeah, like some big name accounts even was like, yo, let me grab this and share this for this guy. And y'all received it well, man. And I've tried to make sure that when I was delivering that little message, and that came from the heart, that wasn't scripted, that wasn't written, that was just what was on my heart, right, to give. And y'all received it well. And I appreciate that you guys acknowledged that I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I wasn't trying to, put like anything negative out there. It was just how I feel, you know what I'm saying? And a couple people came negative. They received it negative and put some little nasty comments in my thread. And I got something to say to you guys, man. Y'all ask questions, the bad people. The good people, yo, thank you guys. All the love, the support, the, being in agreement and all of that with what I was, you understood what I was trying to say, right? But to the people that did not understand what I was trying to say, let me address y'all real quick, because you guys got the nerve to try to say, that I'm wrong for saying what I said. And you're like, how could you say that? Trump got everybody out of prison, he got pardons and all that, and he did. I thanked him for that right in the beginning of the video. And it ain't nothing like that. Like, it's not a blame towards Trump. It was an appeal to Trump, right? Trying to appeal to him to say, hey, man, I'm feeling like this, and there's a lot of other brothers that's feeling like this. Help us out. You know what I'm saying? By getting these people. So, and you want to be upset at me for feeling that way, but the only reason why you can get on your little soapbox and try to give me a speech about how I'm feeling is because you didn't go through what I went through. You didn't go through what other men and women went through. You know what I'm saying? While we was put in solitary confinement and treated like animals, you was sitting at home questioning whether or not you should support us. And some of you were just downright haters of us. You thought that we were the worst human beings in the world, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you for feeling that way, because you saw the same thing that everybody else saw on the news. So I'm not mad at you for that. But before you jump into my page, you know what I'm saying, into my comment section, and start trying to say anything about how I feel towards this whole situation, and let's remind everybody, I've been home for almost 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? And I've been very, very patient and very supportive, and I've been cool, and I take accountability for my actions, right? That's not my issue. My issue isn't the fact that, I went to prison, or that, they treated us the way that they treated us in DC DOC, or any of those things. Like, I'm a man. I handled that. I went through that. I did that. I ate it, and I was good. I came home and got right back to life and trying to be normal. You know what I'm saying? The thing that set it off for me is while I was sitting in prison, you know what I'm saying? These people knew that they had set us up. These people knew that they was lying. These people knew that the pipe bomber wasn't no Trump supporter. These people knew that we didn't start any of the stuff that happened that day. Yet they lied. And they told the world that it was just a bunch of backwards redneck hillbillies that was racist, that hated everybody that's not white, that went there that day and wanted to, take the lives of the speakers of the House and the Speaker of the House and senators and congressmen. They painted this negative picture. They told people that served in our military, that got combat tested and awarded medals and all that, were somehow now big racists that just wanted to kill black folks and kill senators and congressmen because of whatever. And then go on to award these, look at this. They go on to award these people.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democratic Leader Charles E. Schumer, Republican Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican Leader Kevin McCarthy, Chief J. Thomas Manger of the United States Capitol Police, and Chief Robert J. Conti, Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department.
All these
United
people
States
got medals.
Capitol, we honor their extraordinary service and sacrifice
Capitol Police
for
officers.
courageously answering.
Capitol Police officers. The same ones that was out there throwing, things into the crowd, pepper balls, shooting people with pepper balls, shot a guy straight through the mouth, right, like 10, 20 feet away from me. You know what I'm saying? Why am I upset? I'm sitting in prison getting, the American people are getting told that me and all the other people are domestic terrorists and we attacked our nation's democracy and that we're just the scum of the earth. Our kids, without us, were locked up. And just screw the being locked up part. They smeared all of us and awarded the people that was a part of the setup with medals. What do you mean, why am I upset? Because we're finding out now that one of those people, at least one, has to be more like who gave you the order to go and do what you did. These people are awarded medals, living their best life. Crybaby Michael Fanone, all kind of airtime, book deals. You know what I'm saying? Harry Dunn. All these people, these people awarded, rewarded for being scumbags while they're telling everybody that we're scumbags and that Trump is a scumbag. Why am I upset? Yeah, it's crazy. I understand. Like I say, I understand the people that are questioning anything like, yo, why is Cash upset about any of this stuff? And you're home now and you got a pardon. Yeah, we got a pardon, but I'm wanting justice. That's what I want. I want justice. See, you guys don't realize, the critics, right? You don't realize this. Before January 6th, I was a huge influencer. So huge that people were hiring me to fly around the country and get on stages. I was on podcasts. I was on the radio shows. I was feeding my family very nicely with what I had built that I was proud of because, see, I come from nothing. I come from absolutely nothing. I lived my whole life, man, from a time of a child coming up into being a man. I was raised completely wrong. I was violent. I was a gangbanger, did drugs, sold drugs. So I was very proud of myself for being able to leave that lifestyle, put myself in front of the community and say, look, this is the wrong way, y'all. We don't need to be out here selling drugs. The gang violence, we got to stop that, man. We shouldn't even be a part of no gangs. We don't need that. We need to educate ourselves. And I'm out here trying to educate people and save my community, doing the right thing. And I changed my whole life up. And it led to a point where I blew up and took a hold of social media and I figured it out and I cracked codes and I'm earning a living doing what I'm doing. And then it's stripped from me behind January 6th, not because of anything else. My platform was taken from me for telling the truth about COVID, for telling the truth about the election, for telling the truth about what happened on January 6th and what I personally seen. TikTok banned, 3 of my accounts for telling the truth. Video evidence. Everything that I'm saying is in the video. I'm telling you the truth of what happened. And they say, oh, you're out here spreading misinformation. Banned. The news spreading real misinformation, but people are believing. So we're punished. And people that weren't even a part of January 6th had part of that punishment. They lost their platforms for telling you the truth about the cough, for telling you the truth about what they experienced with the election. In the 2020 election, to this day, I told in 2020, when I cast my ballot for Trump, right? My vote wasn't even counted. You say, nah, that's not true, Cash. Well, they wouldn't do that. There's no way that they can do that. Well, then how did this happen? How did this just happen in this election that just happened this month? How does this happen?
Today, Maricopa County elections officials revealed that they found almost 2,800 unopened ballots today inside their downtown warehouse. The ballots were discovered as elections workers were inspecting equipment returned from county voting locations. According to an election spokeswoman, a drop box containing ballots with a tamper-proof seal had been transferred from a West Valley voting site.
It was set aside, and when it was opened up this morning, they found it. They immediately, put a hold on the staff.
Well, look at that. Look at that. So that means that, Over 2,000 people's ballots wasn't counted, and if you look them up, it'll show that they didn't vote, even though they did. It just didn't get counted. But we're lying. These things don't happen. What about the 8,000 ballots that was put in by two people fraudulently in California in 2020? Do y'all remember that? Then people got prison time for that. And that's just two people that they caught. But we are wrong. We're wrong. Why am I upset? Because everything that we was saying, everything that we was there for on January 6th, we was right. At least I was. I'm not going to speak for everybody. When I say we, I want you to understand when I say we, I'm talking about me and my brothers. The brothers that I know that are stand-up dudes, Scott Fairlamb, you know what I'm saying? Kelly Meggs, you know? Kenny Harrelson, my crew, Shane Jenkins, you know what I'm saying? My guys, my brothers. If I don't call your name, don't take offense. I'm just making an example, right? The guys that I was, Dan Caldwell, you know? My brothers, rest in peace, Bart Shively. Good guys. Ronnie Sandlin. You know? The people that was a part of my pod, Jessica Watkins, those people, my guys. When was that from? That was from this month. Maricopa County, Arizona. Yeah, where we've been called that out. The same, what was that? Who was it running it? Carrie Lake, was it? Carrie Lake? Yeah. And that last one where she was like, look, there's some fraudulent stuff going on. They said, nah, you're lying. Can't prove it. If you can't prove it, it's not true. Even if it is true. If you can't prove it, not true. And that's what we all been faced with. We've been getting called crazy. And I even started to believe that I was crazy. I'm like, man, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe. No, I wasn't tripping. They wanted you to think that you was tripping so you could change how you really feel and how serious you are about standing up for your rights. So for all the people that feel some type of way about my little speech that I gave yesterday, hey, I understand. I'm not even mad at you. It's just all I'm asking is that you just investigate on your own and try to put yourself in my shoes. You know? I was a horrible person growing up, and I changed my life, and I did the right thing, and I kept trying to just be better and just do the right thing and be a good father. I never, ever left my kids without me. Since every child that I've ever had has been with me, lived with me, I've raised. I dedicated myself to being a father, and I was taken away and smeared, and I wasn't even able to see my kids. They wouldn't even let me have a visitation with my children unless I took you know what I'm saying? So then when I finally decided I broke, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you know what I'm talking about, just so I could see my kids. Guess what happened? They said, oh, well, your kids can't come unless they're 18. Find out way later after I get out of prison that that's a lie. Kids were able to go up there. All the other people in the jail were seeing their kids. Not the January 6ers, though. Nope. Tell them they can't. They got to be 18. They can't prove it. They wouldn't give us the bylaws, the rules of the jail to understand how visitations worked. They did us dirty, man. They did us dirty. I couldn't shave. My beard was like this when I was up in there. They wouldn't let us shave unless we used Magic Shave. And if you ever use Magic Shave, then you know that stuff ain't no, especially if you're, it's made for, people like me, black folks, right? White people, boy, they were putting that stuff on their face. The other J6s in there, whole face breaking out, just red, bumps everywhere, just couldn't. They said, screw that. Some guys was able to use it on their head, but even then, you see red patches all over their head, their skin just inflamed. Wasn't able to see the sun, couldn't go outside. They would take our rec. We were supposed to get some recreation. Sometimes they would give it to us once in a blue moon. Sometimes they wouldn't. Until we put our foot down. When we started standing up in there the same way we stood up on January 6th, we started doing it in there. That's what changed the conditions. We started taking a stand against them inside of there, and we had your help, the American people. We was putting out messages, and you guys did not disappoint. You showed up. started giving them hell in DC DOC. And we appreciate that. I do. I appreciate it. But people want to know, why am I upset? I'm disappointed. I'm just disappointed. And maybe I do need to be a little more patient. Maybe. It didn't change how I felt yesterday and how I still feel today. Maybe I do need to be more patient. And believe me, I pray to God. I talk to God. I'm like, look, man, I know you got a way of doing things, and I'm trying to trust the process, and I'm leaning on you, and I'm grateful for where I'm at right now and everything that I have. But man, God, I feel like David. And he's like, how long, God? How long are you going to allow the wicked to prosper? How long are you going to allow these people to get away with the evils that they do in the world? David made those prayers. We read them today in the Psalms. I'm not doing nothing different. You know what I'm saying? I feel the exact same way. And then I just thought maybe I should appeal to the president of the United States and let him know how I feel, because he knows who I am. He seen my video in 2020, y'all. You know, I was on the Trump campaign. I was doing the little commercials. I was going to the radio stations. I was at the rallies. I spoke on the stages. So why not? Why not appeal to him? Because regardless of how I feel about all politics, to this point, I feel like everybody's corrupt, right? Save, and people are going to get mad at this, save Donald Trump. I still don't believe that Donald Trump is one of them. That's my belief. I know some people don't like that. You'll say, no, Trump is just like them. Trump is just like, I don't see that. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think that Trump is just like them. I think that he's at war with them. I think that he's fighting against them, and he's got to play the game. But it's still frustrating. It's frustrating to me. That's all. Just voice my frustrations. People want to be upset about it. Hey, I get it. Be upset. But just know I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. I'm not, if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or you're a Trump hater or Trump lover or whatever, I'm not your enemy. The only enemy that I got is the people that side with these types of people. That's my enemies. My enemy, and make no mistake about it, for me, is good versus evil. It's good versus evil. I'm a believer, and that's the only thing that saves these people. That's the only thing that saves these people. That's it. That saves them from me spazzing out and doing the things that they did and do to us is that I'm a believer. That's the only thing. Because believe me, y'all, a lot of you guys that are on the opposite side of things, you guys think that somehow because, we're believers, or we support Trump, or we don't fight back the way that y'all do, you think that somehow that's a weakness. That's not a weakness. Believe me, it takes a lot of strength for me to not break one of y'all's faces. It takes a lot of strength for me not to dox you guys how y'all doxed us in 2020. It takes a lot of strength for me to not be who I know how to be, who I've had to be my whole life, because I'm trying to do better, like how Christ said to be. That's the only reason why. Literally. So, yeah, feel how you want to feel about it. I don't want people to be my enemy. I don't want people to be, fearful to try to talk to me or anything because look, listen to me. If you know me, if anybody knows me, right, then I ain't never been a calm guy. Up until recently in my life, as I gotten older. Tomorrow, I'll be 37 years old. But all through the time, man, I've been throwing up gang signs since I was out my mother's womb, and I knew how to play with my hands. I was throwing up gang signs. I was bad. I was a very bad kid. I was fighting everybody. Big, small, tall, short, black, white, Mexican. I didn't care. Anybody could get it. That's how I was. And everybody knows that about. That's what I'm known for, is fighting, whooping people. So January 6th wasn't a big deal for me to go. It was exciting. I was excited about January 6th. And when everything broke off, at first I'm like, oh, dang, it's going down. And then I'm like, oh, dang, it's going down. And then, my senses kicked in. It's like, okay, you're not going to be the cop. Remember who you are today. Yeah, this feels normal. don't remember who you were. Don't be who you were. Be who you are. So I didn't assault nobody. I didn't hit nobody. I didn't break nothing. I didn't steal nothing. I didn't push nobody. I didn't do nothing except be there. Walk in, take a picture with a statue. But Chicago Tribune says, violent Latin king storms nation's capital. I ain't stormed nothing. And I'm not a violent Latin king. I used to be. That's not who I had been for the last decade. I was an activist. I was part of the Neighborhood Crime Watch. I'll call the police on you if I seen you do something wrong in my neighborhood. I changed a lot. Before, I'd never call the police. In a heartbeat. To this day, I'll pick up. So I don't got to go to prison. I'm just going to call the police on you so they can handle it. Because if I got to handle it, then you're not going to jail. You're going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? But they put me out there as if I was still this monster. So yeah, it pissed me off. Why am I mad? Because today we know a whole lot more. The things that they said were crazy for. It's the truth. FBI in the crowd, man. Almost 300 FBI agents in the crowd. That's known, that we know of. Who knows what's going to come out tomorrow? Capitol police officer allegedly put the pipe bomb. Okay, that's another reason to be pretty pissed off, because a lot of people got terrorist enhancements based off of that. They got terrorists, and then we were wondering, how could they put a terrorist enhancement on anybody that's involved in this? Well, that was a terroristic threat inside the Capitol. There was a pipe bomb. So that means somebody was willing to commit an act of terror, and all of you were there when that happened. So that made you an accomplice. You're an accomplice. So everybody can technically get a terrorist enhancement if they did anything that day. And they used it. They used it. Why am I mad? That's why I'm mad. Not mad enough to go back to my old ways and be who I've been, but just mad inside myself. And I feel like it's a righteous anger that I have. And believe me, I pray to God about it, because I get frustrated sometimes. It's hard for me not to respond to the crazy people that's in my comments, whether they liberal or now, ex-MAGA, because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that are, America first, but it doesn't mean what it used to mean. And it's like, we hate Trump. That's why we're America first now. And it's just a bunch of weird stuff going on today. So I really don't even care about politics or who feels like what. All I'm saying is that people should want the truth. We should want to, bro, we were finding out that the FBI was targeting Catholic churches, bro, choir members and moms, and for terroristic stuff. What? Because of their stance on abortion. That's not alarming to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. Maybe I'm different. Like, I don't think that that's okay. But a lot of people are just, and everybody's pointing the finger in other directions instead of right here at home. Everybody wants to talk about what's going on in these other countries, man. Look, I'm done caring about what's going on in these other countries as far as, who they stand with and who they're not with and all that. I don't even care at this point. Right now, I know that America, bro, we got a big issue going on right now. We got a big issue going on in our country, and it stems from our own government. Our own government. If we're going to be mad about money that's being sent to foreign governments, well, then we got to be mad at the people that's sending it to them. Forget the country. Stop just pointing at the country. Forget blaming Iran or Pakistan and they hate us, or Israel or Gaza or Russia, Ukraine, and China. Screw all of that. Who's okay with this? Who's the people that's saying, you know what? Let's give them some money. That's the issue. That's the issue. It's them. I'm not calling for violence against them or anything of the sort. All right, let me make that clear. I ain't calling for violence against nobody. All I'm saying is that we need to ask the right questions and point the finger where it belongs, man. That's it. It's plain and simple for me. I don't get why it's so complicated for other people, or that you feel like I shouldn't even be angry about any of these things, or people shouldn't be angry about any of these things. I feel like maybe you not questioning these people about the things that they've done makes you part of the problem unknowingly. And the people that have this blind allegiance to one party or the other, screw both of those parties. Screw both of them. Screw the Republicans and screw the Democrats. I'm just a regular American that believes in God, bro. That's it. And I'm trying my best to be Christ-like. That's all. And it's all I want is to be treated the way that y'all said in the Constitution that I'm supposed to be treated as an American. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't want my rights infringed upon. I don't want my government too involved in the things that I got going on in my day-to-day life. And that's it. If I got to follow the law, they should have to follow the law. They should not be able to set people up and create these traps for people to fall into so they can lock them up. Right now, and this is just coming out. Right now, you got jails, prisons suing the states because they're not providing enough criminals to their jails. How the hell is that even a thing in our country? How can a institution that is there to rehabilitate people that have done wrong sue the state for not being able to incarcerate enough people? It's kind of like they only care about business. It's about the money. We don't care how you get them here, but you promised us that our jails would be at least 80% capacity at any given time. Why are we at 50% capacity? So you don't want crime to go down. No, you want crime to stay high so you can lock people up, so you can fill the beds. We got a problem in our country, man. These people have been getting away with it for too long. In Virginia, you got a sitting judge that sentences people to prison, that owns shares in the prison. If that ain't a conflict of interest, I don't know what is. You wonder why people are getting set up, and you got so many people in prison saying, bro, I'm innocent. I did not do this. Bro, I'm innocent. I don't sell drugs. Bro, I'm innocent. I don't use drugs. Well, you're in here on a drug charge where they said that you sold it and you got convicted in court. Bro, they lying on me. You wonder. Not everybody, I don't believe that everybody's innocent, but I know a lot of people are innocent. I know that a lot of people are innocent. Why? Because of January 6th. People were locked up for things that they did not do. My charges from January 6th, right? Violent entry and disturbing Congress while in session. Is it true? Did I enter violently? No. Did I disturb Congress while in session? No. By the time I went in, Congress was out of session. I believe. I could be wrong. But even so, I wasn't nowhere near them. So that's wrong. What is violent entry? Knowingly entering into a restricted area without permission. I had permission. And I didn't know that I was entered into it, and I was not entered into a restricted area. So it's wrong. So therefore, they had me sitting in DC DOC wrongly. I should have been in federal prison. Y'all brought me over here for nothing. Extended my time that I would have had to do. I would have been home long before 2024, February. I would have been home. And then guess who the judge was that sentenced me? Judge Boasberg. I had Judge Boasberg. And what we finding out about Boasberg right now? Corrupt. He's corrupt. Make it make sense, y'all. The chick that they're saying put the pipe bomb, that they're alleging, that's my friend right now. The person that they're alleging put the pipe bomb, guess what she did? Took the stand on Guy Reffitt, lied on him, lied on Guy Reffitt, who's another great J6er, my brother. Took the stand and lied on him. Was out there popping people with pepper balls. Out there a part of the chaos, helping to start the chaos. You seen my video. We were just standing in the front of the Capitol singing God Bless America. Everything was cool. Then all of a sudden, these police come out in riot gear on top of the Capitol, take aim, open fire. And we're all shocked. We're looking at them like, what the hell are they doing? Why are they doing that for? Nobody wasn't trying to go in the Capitol. We was just standing there on the grass. Oh, you wanted to incite something. You were trying to aggravate people because they weren't listening to the feds that was in the crowd. That's what it is. They only listen so much. Can't forget about good old Ray. Good old Ray. Can't forget about him. Where's he at, by the way? I think he's sitting on an island somewhere just chilling, or maybe on his front porch, you know, laughing like how he was on January 6th about the chaos that he caused, yet he didn't get charged. How is that? How is that a man that didn't cover his face even the day before January 6th, on January 5th at night, he's out there telling people, you got to go in the Capitol. We got to go in the Capitol. They start yelling, Fed, 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 Fed. Everybody knew who he was. He's a Fed. Then the next day, he's right up there in the front, instructing people when to tear down the barricades that we never saw. Because by the time we got there, barricades were gone. I thought that they were lying. I'm like, there wasn't no barricades out there. It was people just standing there and singing God Bless America on the lawn, bro. And I was by Alex Jones' stage. I seen Alex Jones on the stage, man. I'm standing there listening to Alex Jones talking to the one funny black dude that's an influencer that talks about his baby mama all the time. I'm doing an interview with him. You know? And then what happened? People come out, they start antagonizing the crowd. A man drops of a heart attack. Another guy shot through the face with a pepper ball. We're yelling at the police. You hear me yelling at them. Yo, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? We supported you, dirty mother. We supported y'all all through 2020 when they was talking about defunding y'all and saying that not all police is bad. And then here you guys come because you got your marching orders, coming out and assaulting the American people and inciting a riot. What do you think? A bunch of men, real men, not these soy boy, you know, soft, don't misgender me types of men. No, real men are going to stand there. Wow. You assault women with pepper balls and bear spray and hitting old people with shields, and you think that that's going to fly? I mean, in what world do you think that that's going to be okay? Real men, we fight. That's just what it's always been. A good old fight. Nothing wrong with that. We fight, we shake hands, we're good. No, they wanted to trap. They wanted to trap. They got it. They trapped us. They wanted that response and they got it. And then here you got these people. How come you're angry? Why are you angry? Because it's all coming out now that this was all set from the start. You got Nancy Pelosi sitting in her car with her daughter, taking accountability for it. I should have done this. I should have. Didn't know they recorded. Didn't know she was being recorded. But then turns around and gets mad at the journalist that comes and asks her, Nancy, why are you? You're not a real journalist. So she does all her whole little thing. Y'all don't see it. Right now, we just had a government shutdown. A whole world, well, America anyway, fighting against each other. Here come the EBT posts from the right. And then over here, you got the left talking about, look at Trump trying to starve people. Nobody looking at the big picture here. What's the big picture? Well, or not even understanding how politics works, really, because they telling you in your face, they're saying, hey, we will let you guys starve. When I say they, I mean the Democratic Party. We will let you guys starve to hold our leverage. We don't care. We're the party of social programs and all of these things. The Democrats love us. They want to take care of us. Is that true? Because they sure did. Look, you don't believe me? CNN got caught lying. CNN actually told the truth on accident. And ain't this great? Last night, look at this. CNN.
We've got plenty more on the other side. We will talk much more about this. Again, you're looking live at the Senate floor as the Democratic filibuster has been.
Whoa, what'd you say? What'd you just say?
Democratic filibuster has been broken.
Whoa,
we have,
say it one more time.
As the Democratic filibuster has been broken, we have.
The Democratic filibuster? I thought it was the Republicans. That's what you guys been telling your people. Thought it was the Republicans. See, but the Republican Party's stupid too. The Republican Party is dumb. They're dumb. Every single time they took the floor, you know what they should have said? Republicans should have got up there and said, hey guys, we just put together a vote right now to open back up the government. And the Democrats don't want to open the government. They voted against it. And then walk off the stage. And everybody do the same thing in order. But no, they never do that. It's like, I just don't get it. And I know why. It's because it's, for me, the way that I see it, they're all in it. It's a game. It's just a big old game. None of them care. None of them care. The Republicans don't care any more than the Democrats care. They only care about their money and having a good talking point. Look, we could blame the Democrats for this one. Listen, Democrats did it. Republicans or the Democrats do the same thing. Oh, look, let's hold our leverage right now. We could blame the Republicans because they got the House majority and the people are stupid and they don't understand how a vote goes through. The American public are just stupid. They will never understand. They don't care. Because all we got to do is just keep on saying the same talking point. Republican did it. Republican did it. And over there, Democrat did it. Democrat did it. They'll never get it. They'll never come together. They'll just blame each other, even though it's us that's doing the voting, not the American people. And you get these influencers, these Democrat influencers. They say, you voted for this MAGA. If you're a Trump supporter or you stand by this, then you're the problem and we'll never come together with you. And just show the most disgusting looking Democrat that you can find to make the video. And that's what they do. And then they do the same thing on the right. They'll grab the most inbred looking Republican that they can find. It would be an influencer to say, I'll never stand. Or they'll go the opposite way. They'll grab the most clean cut, appealing looking conservative to say, I'll never stand with these Democrats because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. I can never be cool with these people. They didn't do it. But here we are, both of us fighting. And then the people in the comments, I agree. I agree with you, my fellow Democrats. Screw those maggots. I agree with you, my fellow conservative. Screw those purple-haired freaks. And then we never come together and talk about anything and say, hey, yo, something strange going on here, y'all. How come all your guys' stuff is on my feed? How come I only see videos that piss me off from y'all? And we look over there, no, bro. Well, meanwhile, people affected by January 6th, we sitting back and looking like, hold on, wait a minute, man. Something ain't right. It's the government. Yep, the government's not right. And they're all in on it. What is CNN except a left-leaning propaganda machine for the Democrats? What is Newsmax and Fox but a right-wing propaganda machine for conservatives? And it's flooded. You see it all day long, every day. That's what you watch. No, Cash. Not all. If I like for me personally, like I can't stand none of the news, right? I like Gutfield. It's funny. I don't go there to get my truth. I go there to laugh. That's it. When I think of real news, you know who I think of? People that don't really get the airtime that these big people do. I like Cowboy Logic. I love Cowboy Logic. Next News Network, Gary Franchi. Love Gary. Chuck Holton. Chuck Holton is, for me, whatever Chuck Holton says, I will almost 100% believe without verifying, because he's that good. He's that honest. Where do I watch Chuck at? YouTube. Why do you watch Chuck? Well, Chuck goes around the world, literally, and investigates, and he's not biased. He's more, I would say, conservative, 100%, but he's honest. He holds everybody accountable. Republicans, Democrats, don't matter. He's just telling the truth. I don't watch these freaking rag news networks no more, because they lie. Repeatedly lie. They lie. That's all they do. Deceive. Which means that they're not aligned with me. They're not aligned with God. God say, tell the truth. They look at somebody like me. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. A lot of these people that come on my page, they look at me and be like, man, I don't, you know, some of them are conservative or MAGA first, right? I mean, I don't believe this black guy. Look at the way he talks. His vernacular is just disgusting. You see the way he said that? He's black. Listen to nothing he has to say. And the people on the right or on the left, you can't trust him. He's a Trump supporter, but he's black. Doesn't matter. He's got it wrong. He's got it wrong. He's siding with them. Whatever. Don't care. I don't care what either side thinks about me at all. I just want to see a better world. That's it. I just want to see some change. I couldn't care less what a Democrat got to say about me, or a so-called Republican, or a conservative, or a black person, or a white person. I really don't care. Doesn't make or break me. And I made it through far worse my whole life to be upset about words. Thought that was what, the snowflakes. That's what we used to call people, snowflakes, the soft people get upset about what people were saying and want to, keep crying. And I don't care. You say what you want to say about me. I know that, you just live in your little existence in your little world. You're on your phone. It is what you're going to feel how you feel. You get emotionally triggered. I don't really do that. You know what triggers me? Corruption. It always has. Especially when I got my mind right. When I started to get my mind right and get out into the community and see what I was a part of. And that's the thing. Like, that's all I'm asking for these politicians to do. The same thing that I asked my community to do, the same thing that I did. I understood that I was a part of something corrupt. I was a gangbanger. I was a drug dealer. I was part of the problem in my community my whole childhood. And I recognized that. And I said, I have to change. And I did change. And then after changing, what do? You call it out. You know it. You've been a part of it. You see it. So you call it out. And then you offer help to correct it. And then you encourage other people to do the same. And you encourage the people that are still a part of the problem without making them feel like they ain't nobody. I'll talk to the youth and say, hey, man, bro, I used to be just like you, man. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're looking at me like, bro, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You don't know about the life that I lived. You don't know that, but I do. And I understand that you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, but I got to tell you, because somebody told me when I was young and I thought the exact same way as you. And it led me into prison, and a lot of bad things happened throughout my life. So I just got to tell you, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't. And I want you to know that you got a brother here. If you need some help, if I can, I will. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here. But what you're doing is wrong. I just want the politicians to do the same. I want the good cops to do the same. I want the good cops to say, hey, listen, brother, you're going down a bad road. What you did to that person wasn't right. We can't be like that. We got to build trust with the community. I want the politicians to say, hey, colleague, hey, what you're doing is wrong. The way that you got up on the news the other day and lied like that. We're here to help the American people. We was elected to do a job. We was elected to help our people. And then they don't change. Well, I got to call it out. Hey, y'all, the other day, my colleague got up here and told you guys something that was wrong. And I just wanted to set the record straight and let you guys know that what they said was factually wrong. This is the truth. Hey, community, I just want you guys to be aware. Look, I know we love our youth and we love our community, but we got a gang problem over here. And these kids, man, they following these people that I used to run with. I know these guys. These ain't good guys, bro. They don't care about nobody but themselves. And they got your kids and they giving them drugs to sell because, you know, I guess they feel like they need some money. So if you guys are having problems at home, whatever. Hey, community, police chief here, just wanted to let you guys know that we have a cop that we are disciplining because he stepped out of line when dealing with this little traffic stop with this person and somebody got arrested, and we want to apologize. Oh, we can't do that. No, that's too much. We can't do that. It's too much. It's too much. How come we could? People like myself. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I'll say, hey, man, I slipped up. My bad. And I don't defend people that's out here doing the wrong thing. We got to get to that place as a whole, as a society, man. Forget who you voted for. Forget what you think about Candace Owens and her conspiracy theory. Forget what Harry Sisson said. Forget what Fox told you. Go outside. Go outside your door. Look at your community. Where could you help? Can you do anything to make a difference? That's when change starts to happen. You notice I didn't appeal to none of the other people in politics with my message yesterday. I spoke directly to Donald Trump, the president, because I feel like he's the one that can make things shake. He's the one that's ahead of all these groups. He's the one that could get in Dan Bongino and Kash Patel's ear and say, hey, you guys see this? What's going on here? We promised the people that we was going to drain the swamp. We promised the people that there was going to be accountability. We promised the people that we was going to fix the issues that we have over here. And now we found out a lot. And I believe, and maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm naive, but I believe that he will. Again, I don't think that Trump is like the rest of them. I think he's at war. Like, I think he's battling even within himself. Real talk. Like we all are. Every single one of us. I was battling within myself yesterday when I was making the video. That's the struggle. And he just got a whole bigger responsibility. So I just want to see some accountability, bro. I want to see some of these people locked up where they belong. Let's just be real about it. A lot of these politicians are just scammers. A lot of these politicians are corrupt. A lot of these government agencies, the alphabet boys, is corrupt. Not all, but a lot. And if you sit by and you allow that, if you're a part of any of those groups, if you sit by and you know that they're corrupted, you know the shady dealings that they got, bro, and then you just allow it, you're just as corrupt as they are. That's how I feel. The same way that somebody will get locked up for being an accessory to whatever crime, you should be held accountable for being an accessory to their crime that they commit against the American people. You guys are playing a game, man, and it's not okay. And you've got the people so confused. You've got the people so brainwashed. You've got the people so docile that you think that you've won. But you haven't. More than ever, people are waking up. You know, and at first I was trying to understand the frustration that people was feeling, say, towards an Israel, or the frustration towards Gaza, or the frustration towards immigration, and frustration towards Republicans or whatever, right? And I understood something. was like a light bulb went off in my head. It said, no, people are just waking up. They might not have woken up to the truth, but now they're willing to say something's wrong here. And they're looking for the problem. They might not be on the right path of what the problem is, but now they're at least awake enough to say something's wrong here. Something's not right. And they're getting so skeptical now they're questioning everything. Maybe all this is supposed to happen. Maybe this is just the beginning of something more beautiful. Maybe the American people are finally on the right path of asking questions, even if they're asking the wrong ones right now, you know. And I believe that they know, the powers that be, they know this, which is why they put these people out here, all these different influencers that are huge. They keep you pointing the finger over here instead of at the right place. They put them out there to keep you guessing. Keep on questioning. Keep questioning. Real talk. Question the right things, though. Question the right things. The problem is not your brothers and sisters in this country, okay? See, we all dealing with our own things. So if you're somebody that comes from, you know, the suburbs and you ain't never had to deal with crime like how I had, like the crime that I dealt with was murders, robberies, burglaries, kidnappings, you know, attempted murders, drugs, drug deals, like all of that. That was my reality growing up. Some people's reality is, you know, they deal with having to like share a room with their brothers or sisters, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, just like regular normal things, like the problems that I would be okay with, you know what I'm saying? And then there's other people that deal with super rich people problems that I can't even relate to, but they understand this system a whole lot differently over here. They're like, man, I'm stressed out today because the stock market dropped down and these people are over here scamming the system but everybody that's dealing with these issues, instead of looking down, like the person that's dealing with rich people problems, look down into the hood and say, oh my God, this is horrible what's happening over here with these blacks. They're doing all these things. Don't look at it like that. Why is the situation like this? And then the people down here that's talking about these people over here that they can't relate. They got these rich people problems. Try to understand them rich people problems, because them rich people problems, if it's affecting them, it's affecting you down in the hood too. You just don't see it. You just can't relate because you ain't never been there. That person might be the person that got to lay you off because the company done, I don't know, something happened. And then now we got to lay off down here. We own this company, which runs these two companies down here that employs these people over here, and try to understand each other. And once we start getting there and just understanding, okay, the problem isn't the crime that's like, well, no, that is a problem, but why? Why is there so much crime over here? Why are these rich people over here panicking about what's going on with this money in this little whatever in the stock market? Why are these people over here upset about this bill that just went through? Maybe that's their only issues, is that they're paying attention to politics and they're seeing all these different bills going through. And you scratching your head like, who care? I don't care about none of that, bro. I got to worry about walking to school tomorrow and I might get shot. I don't care about that bill. You need to. We need to care about all of this stuff. And then we come together and figure out a game plan, man. Why was there so much crime in my community growing up? Why? How did it get that way? Is it just people wanting to do crime? No. You know why I started selling drugs when I was 14 years old? I'm going to tell you. I started selling drugs when I was 14 years old because I was homeless. How was I homeless at 14 years old? Don't you got a mom and a dad? My dad that raised me, my stepdad, my father was murdered when I was like 3, something like that. Man that raised me, when I was married to my mom, they split up. He got him a place, and we didn't even know. We just thought that he was working, but we never seen him. He was just gone. And then my mother left and married some other guy, got with some other dude. So me and my older sister were living in a house by ourselves. My two younger siblings moved with my stepdad. I didn't know where we would eat. Nobody was putting food in the house. Nobody wasn't paying the bills. Me and my sister trying to figure it out. So I said, okay, I'm gonna start selling drugs. Went to my big homie. He gave me a little ounce of weed, a little bit of coke, and I started doing what people do where I come from. And I started slanging. And I started making money. Bought my first pistol, a little 25. I named him Purdy Boy. And I put him to use. Started robbing people. That was ops. That wasn't like my friends or nothing. They were just my enemies in my mind. They had something I wanted that I needed. And then it just stayed that way. House got foreclosed on. I'm homeless. I'm living in the streets, sleeping on abandoned porches, sleeping at my friend's house on the couch. That's what did it for me. How did it get that way? Why was it like that? And you say, well, you had bad parents. You had a bad upbringing. Well, then how did they get like that? My mom didn't know how to be a mother because she never had a mother. And my mom's white. She grew up, my mom's from West Virginia. Her family was poor. Her mother was white and Cherokee Indian, and then her father was a second generation American, Irish immigrant. Or his great grandfather or grandfather was an Irish immigrant. She grew up very poor in West Virginia, never knew her mother until she was 14. Didn't know how to be a parent. Came out here to the Midwest. She was in clubs in Chicago, 14 years old, trying to figure out how to make money. They grown men. My mom, don't get mad at me for telling your past, but I think it's worth saying, you know? My mom used to be a dancer. 14 years old, dancing in a grown man's facility. You know what I'm saying? Met my biological father, who was a pimp. And he went to the military. My father went through the military. Why was his life like that? Well, his father. They had a farm in Needleville, Missouri they grew up on. My grandfather, my granddaddy and them. And they weren't brought up right either. It was through a different era where white people and black people really weren't that cool in that area. So on that side of the family, they hated white people until my dad's generation. And then met my mom. My dad's a pimp, gangster, drug dealer. My mom grew up in the streets, dancer, met in a club. Boom, have me. Name me Cash, ironically, right? It's all about the money. But it was the problems at that time that created the ideas that my dad's family had. What was the ideas at that time? Well, blacks and whites don't get along. Don't be nice to each other. Yeah. You're going to have to figure out how to make it because, you know, you're not going to stay on the farm and not enough money to be made. And he started committing acts of crime. But before that, his family was doing good. They weren't criminals. Before my dad's generation, my granddaddy, great granddaddy, they weren't doing crime. They were just black. That's all. Their crime was being black at that time. So then it creates a hate towards these people, towards a system. Now imagine that happening in that generation, and then people like myself and others being born from all of this, where we're like, okay, well now we're not seeing the racism, but we got a crime problem because now people are selling drugs and doing, you know, we weren't raised right, didn't have good parents. Our parents was messed up, left out. We trying to figure it out. And then here I am, older, 37, in the society that I see today. Now you got the reverse happening. White people's crimes today are just being white. Same way to my great granddaddy, and my granddaddy's only crime was being black. How they was treated and mistreated and made them hate white people. On my dad's side, boy, they hated white people. Here we are today, and you got black people that are hating white people that didn't have nothing to do with creating a mentality that their grandparents had. And now white people are saying, yo, I'm just living, bro. I'm just being alive. That's all. I don't hate you. I don't agree with my great grandfather. I don't agree with what happened in the past. I think that's horrible. Doesn't matter. You're white. And before, you couldn't say, that you didn't like these white people because they racist, and you couldn't be loud and proud and vocal about it. I mean, look at the 60s. They would put the dogs on you, boy, beat you to the white meat. Now, you get a record deal. You know what I'm saying? You get rewarded. It's all over the place. Just all types of stuff going on. And it's okay. Like, society's just okay with it. Not the good society, just the wrong society. The bad society is just cool with these things. And all of it by design. All of it is by design. That's the way that I feel. When I look at it all, it's all by design. You look back to propaganda, and this is why, like, I get into, I'm misunderstood, I guess. I'm misunderstood by, people in the hood. And I'm misunderstood from the people at the top. It's like my message it's not like what you hear. It's not the normal. Because here I am trying to tell people, listen, it doesn't matter what color you are. You can make it. It doesn't matter, your background. You can make it. It doesn't matter about what these people did in the past. The past happened, yeah. But it doesn't make today. It doesn't make you who you are today. The past doesn't make you who you are today. Unless you lived it. If you didn't live that past that you know about, it shouldn't affect who you are today. Love everybody. Give everybody a fair chance. What Dr. King say, don't judge me off the color of my skin, but of the content of my character. And people just are lost on it. It's completely gone. People are literally judging you off of your skin color on both sides now. Watch out for the black guy. He might be a criminal. I make jokes about it, but I'm just joking. Don't trust them. They're white people. Them white folks don't care about you. But it's all a lie. And I'm proof that it's a lie. I'm proof that this is a lie. How? When I go out to the hood, I'm not worrying about a white man killing me. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a black person that'll try to kill somebody that looks like me. When I look at the most help that I've ever received, it wasn't based off of race. Nobody saw my race. They saw me. And it came from red, white, black, brown. One thing they had in common, they was faith-filled. When I look at a white person, I don't automatically think racist. Neither should you. White people, when you look at a black person, you shouldn't automatically think criminal. Because a white person is not going to walk into a hood and get assaulted by a black person. It's just not how it is. 9 times out of 10, if a white person gets assaulted, it's going to be by a white person. It's just how it is. But the world got us thinking, be scared of each other. Hate each other. And it ain't real. They throw it up on the news. Racist white cop kills black man. World goes crazy. Burn it down. People show up in droves. Let's protest. Let's wear the signs and shirts. Black Lives Matter. And this is like the first time ever that this has happened in this community, but it's a epidemic. It's an epidemic. It's white cops right here killing black folks. One white kid or white man gets jumped by a group of black people. Put it all over the internet. White people up in arms. It's an epidemic. These black people are assaulting white people. The black on white crime is rampant. We have to create a whole bunch of groups around this to protect our white people from these black people that are just assaulting everybody. It's not true. The things do happen. White cops do kill black people. Black people do jump on white people. It happens. And it should never happen. Like, it's just a wrong thing for an unarmed, innocent person to be, murdered by a police officer, whatever color they are. And it's wrong for a group of people to jump on a person. But it's not a epidemic. It's not a thing that everybody should get up in arms about and start going at each other just because of how they look. It's like 9/11. 9/11. Muslims got the side eye during 9/11, boy. Even though they don't have the same belief as them people. They don't act like those people that did that act. They would never do something like that. Doesn't matter. They look like it. That white person's wearing a KKK robe. He's a part of the Klan. He looks just like Joey that lives across the street from me. Oh, we can't trust Joey. Joey might be part of the Klan. Hey, you see that guy over there? He looks just like the black guy that was on the news that they just locked up for life. That guy looks like OJ. We can't trust him. He's black. He might be. That's dumb. You see that person over there? They're wearing a yarmulke. Can't trust them. They might be a part of the Hollywood elite. It's stupid. It's stupid. And who pushes these things to us? Who pushes these things to us? Media. In all its forms. The media. Disney put some LGBTQ stuff in their films. Everybody hates gays. Blame them. No, blame them. They're the ones that push this stuff into TV. Oh, there's a movie glorifying being a drug dealer and murder. I want to be just like that guy in that movie because he was so cool. He had all the hoes. That's media. Black people hating white people crazy right now. Why? It's the media. It's not when you walk outside. I went to school with a bunch of white people. Justin Nystrom, that's my bro. Aaron Burke. James Baker. Matt Wolf. Rob Wolf. Savannah. My friends. We didn't hate each other. We didn't even call each other racist names unless we was joking. We was on a wrestling team together. When did it start? When we got older. When we got older. Started being told. Or a parent that also had black friends when they was growing up or white friends when they was growing up that didn't see a difference until they got older. All of these things get taught to us. And social media has replaced parents. The news has replaced parents. People aren't taking their experience in the world no more and running with it. They feel like they lived it once they watch it. They feel like they lived it once they watch it. It's impressed on your mind. Condition. So forget your conditioning. Black people don't want to harm you, white people, as a whole. White people don't want to harm you, black people, as a whole. Muslims ain't trying to blow you up, world, as a whole. Jewish people don't run the world as a whole. They ain't out here with nefarious plans as a whole. Christian people ain't out here trying to, Christians, we ain't trying to really do nothing to you. You know, we get the bad end of the stick, really. We get, I'm just keeping it a buck, but when you really sit back though, y'all, and just look at this world, bro, there's something bigger at play. When we talk about ideas and ways of life that they're trying to push on us, I encourage everybody, even no matter your faith, your sexual orientation, any of that, your color, it doesn't matter, right? Study the Constitution. Study the Constitution and what it means to actually be an American and the rights that you have. And then from a being an American standpoint, look at who's trying to take those rights away. I'm gonna tell you who it is. The people that are pushing socialism in our government, the people that are pushing communism, communist ideas, socialist ideas, those people are the enemy of America. And I'll even go a step further. If you're a person of faith, those people are enemies of the teaching of your faith. 100%. They push the degenerate things, abortions till 9 months and, you know, that kind of stuff, mutilation of children and all of that. So if you're a Democrat, moderate Democrat, sensible American, if you're a Republican, moderate centrist views, you know, America first, we need to have a discussion and say, what's the biggest threat to America right now? It's socialist ideas, communistic ideas. That's the problem. Because we got a good country over here. And these people that are pushing these ideas, these people beyond pushing socialism and communism, these people that are okay, that are classist, that are okay with them getting paid and you getting nothing, and they getting paid off of you while keeping nothing, and giving that money to foreign nations over here for whatever reason. Why not giving you nothing? It's the problem. Socialism, communism ideas of the left, and the generous Republicans that are okay with giving money. You know, they'll get you hyped up and say, we don't want to give money for LGBTQ stuff over here in these foreign countries. That's got to stop. Yeah, that's true. But equally, we don't want to give money over here to these people, period, if they're not contributing some way to America. Period. In the discussion. And they all do it so that they could get paid. Get us straight over here first. Get our veterans off the street. Fix the homelessness problem. I'm not so capitalist that I don't want to see help provided for our citizens. That's where the Republicans lose. Oh, you need to work. You need to, yeah, that's true. Well, let's make some more jobs here that people can earn a living wage. How about that? That's where the Republicans lose. Yeah, we understand we don't want full-blown communism and socialism in our country. We get it. We understand we don't want that either. Well, what are you providing for an alternative to these people who are poor, that can't get work, right? That can't get work that'll pay them what they need to survive in a place like New York, in a place like California, in a place like Chicago. You got to offer an alternative. Well, you say, well, Cash, those are all blue cities that you just named. That's true. But how are you going to appeal to them? How can you appeal to them? We got enough millionaires and that are in the Republican Party that can go and buy something over there or build something over there to say, hey, we about to hire. And I want you to know that I'm doing this because I see the problem. We're going to create jobs over here for you on our own dime instead of owning 15 mansions on every beach in the world. Start fixing the problems. Come together. Philanthropy. The elections mean that much to you and you really are a politician that's really you're trying to do good, but the system is just set up to where you can't. Well, then you need to say that. Go and tell the people that I want to do these things, but I can't because my colleagues. Well, we can't do that. Well, then that'll make the Republican Party look bad. Well, no, that'll make the Democratic Party look bad. As a Democrat, I can't do that. Well, then you're part of the problem. You can't be honest. I don't know why it's so simple to me in my mind. But it is. Just need honest people to just be honest. Matter of fact, even if you're not an honest person right now, let me appeal to the crooked politicians that are in their corruption as we speak. Everybody could change. I changed, and I know I'm not a politician. I'm just a lowly gangbanger that, sold drugs and was violent and all of that. But I've changed. If I could change, you could change. You're not doing any of the things that I did. You're just super rich, getting paid off of me and the rest of America. But you can change. You can start right now. Just, you know what? I'm not playing the game no more. I'm going to tell the truth to the people. I'm going to be there for the people. You do that. That'll help to start to restore a little bit of the faith. But if you don't, I'm telling you, I'm warning you. This is a warning. America, if one thing we can all agree on, whether you're Democrat or Republican, everybody's getting tired. Everybody's getting tired. And everybody's waking up to something, whether it be right or wrong, but we're not accepting what we're being told anymore. We're not accepting the way of life that you all are forcing us to live. 50-year mortgage plan for a house? Is the Republican Party on crack? Are y'all smoking? Y'all are smoking dope. 50-year mortgage plan? You know who benefits off of that? The lender. They're about to be getting paid hand over fist. 50 years? You got to be high. I mean, but it will drop the cost that people have to pay right now. Can you imagine the extra 20 years? I get to keep a couple of $1,000s every year. That would help in a big way. Yeah, it would. It would. But you might never get that house. You might have a problem child that ain't got himself together by the time that you leave. It isn't financially secure enough to be able to help pay that house off when you go. You basically just renting for your whole life. We need real solutions, man. Real solutions to the issues that we got in this country right now, man. And that's all, man. That's it. That's all I got to say. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. I'm about to put up my Christmas tree. I didn't do it yesterday. I'm going to put up my Christmas tree today and get ready for the holidays. I appreciate you guys. Again, thank you to everybody. Shared that video out yesterday, and it's still sharing. It's still going crazy. So thank you. My birthday's tomorrow, everybody. 37. I made it. 37 years old. You know, I'm older than I ever thought that I would be. I thought I was going to die before I hit 16. I thought I was going to die after that before I hit 18. And then when I made 18, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be dead before I'm 21. And then 21 hit, and I was just started looking forward to it. And then when 23 hit, the reality hit. It was like, dang, I'm the same age as my father when he died. Now here I am. Pushing 40, man. Pushing 40. God is good. I hope y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. I will talk to you later on.